Hi, my name is Brian Hess. I'm the editor of the Times Bulletin here in Van Wert. We are here today with Mr. Mark Verville, who is the president and CEO of the Van Wert.
That's correct.
Okay, Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Verville is the first of one of 5 interviews we will be conducting with local community leaders. He represents business, and for those who don't know you, Mr. Verville, or what you do, could you explain what the Chamber does?
Well, yeah, sure. The Chamber is Van Wert Chamber of Commerce is a membership organization. We serve about 300, over 300 members in Van Wert County and the surrounding areas. And what we do is we offer educational programs, professional development. We promote businesses, those member businesses in our area. And we offer tangible benefit member savings. So we have, as an example, we have an energy program. If you're a member, you have the opportunity to save on your electric and natural gas costs, so you have an actual tangible benefit for your membership.
Okay. First question that I have for you. What are the most pressing challenges facing our community at a local level right now?
From a lot of the businesses I speak with, it's probably still workforce development. We're growing businesses in our county, in our area, still having trouble matching local talent, to those businesses. There's a portion of Van Wert County that leaves every day to go work someplace else in a different county, different city, and there's people that come from different counties and different cities to work here. I think we still have more people leaving than coming in, which is probably okay for a tax, mix. You probably need a little bit of each. But I think going deeper than that is it's recapture or bringing back young talent for those jobs, including people in high schools that, from our brand career center, they go away to college and sometimes they don't come back. It's like having opportunities and matching them up with places in town or in our area for those type of jobs.
So finding ways of keeping them here.
Yeah, and I know, see, I have 2 kids in college, one's through college. The Van Wert County Foundation has done a great job supporting through scholarship program starting your sophomore year in college, and they've instituted a new one, Learn and Return, where they still offer, you can go to college and get money for that, but if you come to Van Wert County, you live in Van Wert County, you work at a Van Wert County business, you have an opportunity through a 3-year plan to have the majority of your student loans paid off, up to $30,000.
Wow.
So they're doing one thing to get you where you want to go, but there's also something in place they started a couple years ago that are trying to call them back, which is a good idea.
I wish I had known about that when I was in college.
Yeah.
Question 2, considering the evolving media landscape, what role do you see local papers playing in the community 5 years from now?
Hopefully a lead role. We have 2 papers in town and 2 digital papers, and I think your involvement, especially Times Bulletin involvement locally, has increased probably in the last year. So I think you, instead of just reporting on stories, you seem to be thoughtful about investigating things or asking questions with people maybe that we haven't seen before. There's a lot of reports like from all the board meetings, school board meeting and city council meetings. So I think there's a place, for the media to be leading the way in that type of thing.
We do our best to go out and cover what there is to be covered and to seek the news. Like you say, rather than just waiting for a press release or waiting for someone to call us.
Sure.
We're trying. Because our readers expect that.
Yeah. It's a value. It's more, because there's a cost to a subscription, so that return, there should be a return on investment that's above and beyond what you can get on social media or something like that.
Right. Question number 3, in your opinion, what role should our newspaper play in promoting civic participation and community involvement?
Well, I would say a lead role as well. I mean, there's so many different organizations in town, and I feel I'm connected in Van Wert City and in Van Wert County to some extent, where but it's always nice to read something or to learn something. I like learning. I'm curious about stuff like that, about something that I don't know. It's like teach me something, or let me read about something I don't know about. It could be an organization you have never heard of, but it depends on your when we talk about kids or in school, like when they're in school, they're in their own little pocket. So when you give them an opportunity to do something that everyone maybe in the community knows about, but they're doing school, sports, and maybe that's it. So I kind of like that from a community perspective too. You might have someone that's participated in the Peony Parade for years, but unless you're in there a little more than going to the parade or the events, it's nice to know history, who runs it, when it started, maybe who revived it. All that stuff is interesting to me, and I think it's interesting to a lot of people in the community and outside of the community too, to learn about what's happening here.
So context, not just this happened, that happened,
Yeah,
but
why?
Why?
Who? Because the Peony, the festival stopped and then it started again. What caused that? That those type of stories, I kind of dig inside that. I mean, I'm a history major, so I kind of like all that stuff. But
I was too.
Yeah, that's why it'd be interesting. So.
Okay, question number 4. What community events or activities do you believe our paper should cover to better connect with our residents?
I would think anything any community organization is doing. I don't know if I could really pinpoint one. Like I said, I think the coverage has been, it's notably different over the last year or two. Because when we do, let's say even our events, when we do like a ribbon cutting or an open house, we usually reach out to our network, our board of directors, we reach out to the media, and a lot of the times, maybe in the past, it was, hey, send us a picture of it. When we send it to you, and we'll be there if we can, so you're there, and that's a change.
Well,
what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's how I learned who you were. You were the guy with the giant scissors.
Yeah,
Every time I would show up.
Yeah, or like like our craft beer festival or like our annual dinner. It's like it's popping in, getting pictures from the event, and then we don't have to worry about that piece. Of course, we could send a press release. We would probably do that. For for our sponsors and obligations like that, where you want to promote them or you give them that return. But it's kind of nice to see. Actual professional, like a journalistic piece about certain things that'll do something different than we could do. So,
what's the difference
between a press release?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, a journalist, you're more of a storyteller. A press release is just here are the facts. To me, it's like there's more to it. There's there's probably a different aptitude. Not that we do our press releases and it's more about getting this particular information out, but if it's done professionally, I think like you would do or offer, there's more depth to it, I guess. Or there should be.
Ideally.
Yeah. So.
Okay, question number 5. Considering the current economic landscape, how can our paper support local businesses and contribute to economic growth in the community?
And we talked about it, a little earlier too, and it would probably be feature, businesses. You're doing something like this, with certain people, but maybe it's some business series. Maybe you do education. Maybe you do, industry, production, retail. Maybe there's a series you do, and you do the same thing, a similar thing like this, and give people a chance to know whoever you choose from that place, what they do, why they do it, and kind of who they serve. Not only will that help the community, like people here, but it'll also help the outside kind of looking in. Because I think we've had more of that with kind of some of the expansion, beer barrels here. We have, maybe 5 coffee shops now, other places. We have the downtown revitalization project. There's more eyes looking into Van Wert probably than there have been in years. And it'll continue to be like that. But then again, we also talked about the villages too, helping people know in Van Wert what's happening in that area. So of course everyone wants to look at what's happening in the downtown area, but I think there's lots of things going on in the outer areas of the county that people are proud of that maybe aren't covered enough. So,
well, that's a fair point. We heard that recently. I was at a council meeting, and they had suggested, this was in Convoy, and they had suggested, why don't you cover I think it was Ohio City.
Sure.
And it made me question, not a bad idea, maybe we should, or we should start going outside of just the city proper.
I mean, I think, I mean, we're, Chamber, we're probably guilty of that as too. I mean, we have a lot of the villages are members, and, you know, and businesses and Convoy and, you know, Wilshire and things like that, so, when you're kind of centered here, in kind of this area, it's the county seat, and I understand that, but, you know, we need to do a better job of reaching out, to those areas as well, so.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time,
Sure.
Mr. Verville.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Yep.
it.
Thanks for stopping by.